diagram, which is also known as the KJ method. How to use the tool is that you transfer all your ideas into a sticky note, write down every big piece of information on that sticky note, then sort out the idea. You organize it into 2 to 3 information related to it. Then you title each idea that you sorted. Then you develop a solution to it.
To me today is about strategic planning. And I know that now when you are taking strategic planning, you have to consider the challenges, the trends, and the issues, and also decision making. Honestly, it took to me today because I have the responsibility of sharing some important information with our staffs.
Strategic planning is about understanding the challenges, trends, and issues. Understanding who are the key beneficiaries, because without understanding our key beneficiaries, I think we are going to target the wrong beneficiaries. So we have to understand our key beneficiaries, and we can only do that through strategic planning. Our beneficiaries, clients, and what they need, to know exactly what they need, and determining the most effective and efficient way.
Strategic planning, it revolves everything about life. Aside from the work, even your personal life, your day-to-day affair, you need strategic planning.
How to develop a strategy. And then finally, also, this one is part of what I do, but also I'll still want to remind you, types of assessments. We have 2 main types of assessments: joint need assessments and harmonized assessments. Harmonized is when you're doing it individually as an organization, joint is you're doing with others.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll be talking about needs assessment. Although I won't be giving the definition, but I could just give a little intro about it. So needs assessment is like the systematic process of gathering information in order to identify gaps in a specific location. We have 4 different kind of needs assessment. We have the coordinated, we have the uncoordinated, we have the joint, and we have the harmonized.
On my head memoir, it's a need assessment. So need actually is something we can say it's a lack, gap, or something else. Even a shortage, we call it as a need. So need assessment actually is a systematic process for determining and addressing needs or gaps of any identified condition, so as to bridge the gap where necessary. So why agencies do they need to be taking need assessment? So we have some, according to what Muhammad has highlighted. I try to jot some. So to work out that agencies' most important goal are achieved, to plan for a program. So if you want to plan for a program, you have to know the root cause. What are the needs? So that the response that you intend to provide will be relevant and appropriate.
Shed more light on decision. We all know that decision making is very paramount, and without decision making, goal-oriented actions taken to produce favorable results. And we all know that without a decision, you cannot be able to plan. And if you fail to plan, you cannot be able to do any activities. And if you do not do any activities, you don't have any result to check. Talk more of acting upon it. So we have a topology of decision.
Why we go further by identifying the topologies of decision. We start with the strategic, we have the tactical, and then we have the operation. And for the strategic, has to do with decision, that for the future, then for the tactical, it's more of medium term, then for the operation has to do with what day-to-day activities. Thank you.
The typologies of decisions. So we have those the strategic ones are the ones that are long-term. We're looking at long-term goals. Then we have the tactical ones, which are short-term, and then we have the operational ones, which are the ones that we use on a day-to-day basis.
It is a fact that we do have problems within our teams, out there, here, and everywhere. So I think I would recommend, or what stood out for me is the recommendation of the 8D, where a specific line stood out where you need to actually eliminate any root cause of whatever problems you have. You don't need to dig into it, but always be result-oriented to whatever problems you have.
There are 8D steps, origins of the tools. First one is we need to plan. Before we begin, we need to plan. And after that, we go and describe the problems. So we build the teams before that. We build the teams, and for the team, we need to say what's the problem is, what are the major issues, what are the major problems. All the teams members should know about these things, and then we describe our problem, what are the major problems. Then after that, we'll try to identify each problems, what problems we are facing, and how to solve it.
That was treated. So I'll just mention the tools. The 8-1 is celebrate team success, then prevent the problem from reoccurring, implement a permanent solution, verify the solution, identify and eliminate the root causes, then implement a temporary fix, then describe the problem, then build the team and plan. So these are the 8D problems. So thank you.
Emphasis on the political, religious, social, and elements in that particular area of operation.
Yesterday and today is how to learn from our mistakes. It's very important, especially in my line of business.
I picked a few things on how to do a proper apology.
On apology, it's very important for us to apologize to whoever we offend, because if we don't do that, we are creating a very toxic environment for the person not to feel comfortable.
I will talk about how to show remorse for a mistake. Okay. Every apology should start with 2 magic words. 1, I'm sorry, and secondly, I apologize.
Before we apologize, we have to know that we have made a mistake somewhere. And before you go to a process of apologizing, you have to accept the mistake that you did. That's why you are coming back to apologize. And there is a consequences. If we did not apologize, what's the consequences? Damage may come in. Thank you.
And a recap of yesterday, as I said earlier, own your mistake. You know, in life and in our day-to-day implementations in the field, mistakes are inevitable. But where there is problem is when you fail to acknowledge the mistake, that mistakes exist. It is important we own our mistake, reason because solutions could be provided very easy and very comfortable.
I want to re-emphasize on the part of the refrain from error. Because I know a lot of participants or a lot of people make this mistake. I think one thing I learned here is you have to be strategic, and you have to also get your checklist to whatever you're doing. We know we are humans, we make mistakes. So try to give a room of avoiding the mistake.
From this training is how to apologize properly. And the reason I picked this is because conflict is almost inevitable in our day-to-day lives, and even as a team. So it's very important to know when you are wrong and apologize properly so that the team can continue to grow. So the stages includes you show remorse for your mistakes, You take responsibility for your mistakes. You make amends, and then you promise it will never happen again.
Properly. First of all, when we wrong people, we show our remorsefulness that we've wronged them, and then we have to admit that we've caused them damage or pains before apologizing. There are 4 vital points to consider when apologizing. The first is to show remorse, admit your wrongs, make amends, and then promise never to hurt the person again. Thank you.
So, conflict and mistakes are inevitable. So, for everything that we are doing, day-to-day activities, yes, we know we made mistakes, conflict arises. So, let's know how to make an apology. Thank you very much.
Talk about how to be remorseful about your mistake. 90% of all of us sitting down here, we don't know how to be remorseful about our mistakes.
How do you know?
That's why the package is so,
on your own mistake, reframe the error, analyze the mistakes, put lesson learned into practice, and then review your problems.
Yeah. And on this note, I'd like to apologize to Mr. Mahamat. I didn't come in early after the launch to take the presentation on the mandate for UNHCR. So it won't happen again in the next presentations. Thank you.